Cinematographers, Indica Cream, Ramraj, Mritu Towels presents Galatta Thug Life Celebrations. Powered by Prithvi Innovias, The Chennai Silks, Darling, Sura Books, Chandran, Ravi K. Associate Partner, Inno6.
Hello, welcome to Galatta Plus. We are at Kiss Cafe, Kasturba Nagar, Adyar. That's KIS. Keep it simple.
Backlight is flickering. Behind you, there's a flicker happens. Rangaraya Saktivel type going on. When Kamal sir is there, you don't need to do all the gimmicks or any lighting gimmicks or anything. He just holds. He performs through the eyes. Mani sir wrote a long message. I think in my life, first time I got a longest message. So when I did Black, first day, I shot so quickly. Sanjay sir thought I'm tokoing the film. And because 1 week plan gone in 1 day. So he said, I use your image to compose song. I said, this is the biggest compliment.
That's a great compliment.
So yeah. I think this is the biggest compliment one camera can get.
Yeah.
Like A. Rahman is when he is composing a song.
Title sponsors Indica Cream, add color to your life. Ramraj Mridu Towels, super soft, super absorbent. Galatta presents Thug Life Celebrations. Powered by Prithvi Innowares. Prithvi Innowares, your perfect partner. The Chennai Silks, let the celebrations begin. Darling AC Tiruvizha, India Vilaye Miga Kurainda Mada Tavanayil AC. Sura Guides, Sura School Guides for all classes. Chandran, Kurainda Vilai Nirainda Taram Tangal Tevegal Anithum Ore Idathil Chandran. Associate sponsor Inno6, Bharat Next Gen Crypto Exchange. Ravi K, Chandran, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So, one thing that I want to begin with is give me the names of a few cinematographers that influenced you.
See, I grown up watching Storaro.
Vittorio Storaro.
Storaro and Bertolucci's films. So, he was a big impression on my career, I would say, internationally. You know, Storaro's lighting is almost like Santosh Shivan's lighting. A lot of warm backlights and, you know, shaft of light and all those things he used to. His lighting is very operatic, like very, you can see the cinematography.
And I also would use the word sensual.
Sensual, and he uses colors very beautifully. You know, so all Bertolucci's films, and of course Apocalypse Now and Reds and all these films, you know, he made a great impression on.
Right. Have you seen Reds on the big screen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrific. So these films are always, you know, gave me high. Then Nyquist, you know, Bergman's cameraman. So his work, Gordon Willis, of course, from Godfather. Even now, when I see Godfather, I just recently bought a Blu-ray 4K, you know, master of 3 films, all Godfather back to back. I was watching in a Blu-ray player. The sound and the picture quality is something else, and it's incredible. His work is very, very, very subtle, very modern. Even today, the lighting looks real and modern. Yeah. It doesn't look fake anywhere. That kind of work. I haven't seen in India except Subrata Mitra's work with the Ray's film Charulata, or, you know, New York. One film he did about times. You know, Subrata's film. One film, I forgot the name of the film, but.
Who? Gordon Willis?
No. Subrata.
The Satyajit Ray.
He did one film.
Okay.
About times that something comes in, and I really liked
New Delhi Times.
New Delhi. So that was brilliantly shot, and all his films had that international quality. Otherwise, Gordon Willis has a big impact on him. Then Janusz Kaminski, and all, you know, of course, Roger Dickinson, Emmanuel Lubensky, and Rodrigo Perito, and now you say grandmaster like the new grandmaster you would call the Greg Fisher in a Dune. So these are the influence abroad. Here, of course, Subrata, Balamahendra, my brother, Shaji and Karun, P.G. Sriram, you know, Nivas, Ashok Kumar. So they were the influence in the growing up days in India.
Right.
What they could do, A.K. Bear. K.K. Magajan,
Yeah.
Venu, Ashok Mehta, of course, the great Ashok Mehta. So these are the people really influenced me in cinematography.
Yeah, and see, one of the beautiful things about cinematography is that even if you don't know, you can sense something is different about this movie. You mentioned K.K. Mahajan. When I see his Bombay films, when I see even something like Chichor, which is in CinemaScope, it is like it doesn't look like your other typical Bombay films of the time. There's something very texturally different about the film.
Yeah.
Similarly, when you mention Balu Mahendra or Ashok Kumar, uh, there's a certain darkness, a certain naturalness. The color green, I remember, when you see the leaves of the trees, they look very different from the green that you see in I don't know,
films.
Shivaji Ganeshan or MGR film or something like that, right? It's like the way
Yeah.
it look. It'll be as if it's some light is falling on it and reflecting or something. So I'm saying, I think that's where I began to see some of that. Like, I don't know how to define it, but these films look different from those films.
The reason being, K.K. Magajan or Balu Mahendra or Ashok Kumar, they didn't let the actor use makeup.
Ah,
So when you're now in digital, you can pick and color correct it. Those days, when you shoot, the skin tone only will match.
yeah,
So otherwise, the actors will look strange. So when you change try to make the skin tone natural, the makeup face, the other colors will go away.
yeah,
The makeup is the key. So for example, I would say when my wedding reception photograph, my wife doesn't put makeup normally. So everybody said you should also put makeup, and said they made her up and all. And when she saw the photograph, all of us, without makeup, their skin collector, she looked like ghost, bleached out.
Yeah.
She tore all the photographs. She said, "You're a cameraman, you should never told me that I shouldn't put makeup and all." Now the new generation may not understand what I'm talking about, but when you print, we used to always look for the skin tone.
skin tones.
The color chart also, you look for the skin tone. Kodak chart will come, that levels only they'll keep it. So your skin tone, when you try to match, the other colors will go away. That is why if you look at a Maniratnam film or a Balu Mahendra film, you look Dalbadi, Nayagan, they don't have makeup. Actors look real, the skin look real. So the images are looking different,
Yeah.
real. That is the difference from the regular commercial film.
Right. Now, you mentioned Gordon Willis. For me, this has always been an interesting question because, there is one school that believes that cinematography should be invisible. That if somebody says, wow, what a great shot, that means the cinematographer has actually done a mistake because you're not supposed to interrupt the viewing experience of the narrative, right? I don't believe in that. For me, if I enjoy a piece of music or cinematography or whatever it is as part of the narrative, that's just a heightened level of enjoyment. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I see The Godfather, it is not possible for me to not be aware that a certain kind of lighting is happening in that movie because it is so specific. People are standing in very specific places so that a certain light can fall on them, and only then will the face will be lit and the rest of it will be dark or whatever it is, right? What is your theory or philosophy about cinematography? Should cinematography be noticed or not noticed?
I always say this, I said this to an actor also. Once some actor was asking how this light is coming. I said, you are singing different voices in the same film. One actor is singing and one actor is standing on top of the building, synchronizing their singing. People are accepting it. One person hit somebody. If however powerful man hit you, you will not rise above the floor more than few inches. Here people are flying and going and hitting on walls. So this is one happen only in Superman films. But our fights are like this. So we are used to that kind of cinema. In that cinema, why the lighting has to be real, I never understood. If I'm making an art house film which will go to Cannes or anything, then I can make a film like, all the, dark modes and real 2 bulbs you can put and shoot. Nowadays you can switch on the camera, anything will happen. You don't need any light. All these lights you don't need. You just shoot it, it will come, image will come. It doesn't tell a story. Yes, to every story, why you are putting a music? to heighten certain things. You can create a drama with lighting. For example, when I did a film like Black, there's a scene Amitji will be talking about his past, explaining to his past, But when we took the shot, Sanjay was not getting it. So he made changes, maybe line or pauses, body language, something and all they were trying to do. Some 8 to 10 takes it went on. So Amitji was looking down and he has got deep sockets in the eyes are very deep inside. So finally in the end I thought I'll put an highlight separately because that is where he is telling something. His eyes is not glowing. So I put on light, small light for the eyes, or it's called dingy light those days. We just put the light. And Sanjay was sitting in the monitor. He said, oh, fantastic, the shot you performed only. He said, I've been performing the same only. Ravi has put that light. It worked. And the magic, So he came and hugged me and said, thanks, man. You should have put it in the first place. Because you are changing the position. I couldn't figure out what is going on because I was trying to figure out the other lighting and also.
Right.
Then what is the trouble I figured out as a cameraman. So likewise in Fana, Amir Khan will kill Rishi Kapoor and come home, and whereas Rishi Kapoor's daughter Kajol has seen the dead body 1 hour ago, and she comes shocking and say, Abba, she about to say about the father. He said, I just dropped in 5 minutes back. He lies and goes up and the camera goes to Kajal. So in that scene, when I lit it, I didn't light his eyes. I put a top light, so his eyes are in darkness and she's fully lit. And he goes up. After that take, Amir came and saw the monitor and he came and hugged me and said, thanks man, I don't know how to play this scene. I was trying to figure out. I thought that's why I saw the monitor. He doesn't see the monitor that much. So he said, I saw the monitor. You saved my, acting. Thanks. It gives the correct mood. He's lying. You don't want to see his eyes. See, these are the things we do.
Yeah.
As a cinematographer, you tell a story, help an actor to achieve certain things. So lighting need not be real. You have to bring the audience to the world we are creating. If you are talking about a Godfather world, they'll right from the beginning to end, they'll take you to the world. Normally, we take the audience to the world we are creating. Say a Kalki kind of film. You take the audience to that kind of world. Or a film like
Kalki as a
Nagashwin film, or you take a Jallikattu. You take the audience to that world, or take a Vikram. It's very darkly shot for a big film and very moodily shot. It's one of the finest short film I thought. That is done with a deliberation. That's a language the cameraman has created. That world he has brought in. That is what the beauty about cinematography.
We've talked about this, but I want you to explain to the viewers this philosophy of yours that the camera should move either when the character is moving or when the character's thoughts are moving. Explain.
Camera now, because the cameras are very light and small, and people start moving the camera randomly,
right,
because of the gimbal and all these things. So it's like a marriage video. Keep cameras following everywhere. It's like a coverage. It doesn't have a cinematic language to create a. For example, Manoj Natya says, one person is standing in the back. You see his back, and the camera goes straight. What is his thought process? You can figure out because your mind is tuned to that. If the camera goes in a sideways, he's contemplating. It gives a different meaning to the audience, certain moves. So he is very precise about his camera moves. A film like Unbreakable has got very specific camera moves. Even it doesn't move his camera that much. That is what I am trying to say. Here people start moving camera for everybody is getting angry or a shock camera goes to them. So the audience also get used to that thing and they're fed up of this kind of camera moves. When you don't do that, there is some drama happens actually. When I was doing Black, there's a scene where he comes to the college and he's talking to the principal, and while going he says there is a door, the door is behind him. So that day when I went to the set, Sanjay Leela Bansal had a round trolley, a jib and all those things. He wanted full drama to happen. The camera goes from up to down and goes around him because he can't figure out, he got Alzheimer, he can't figure out where is the door. So he planned everything like that. I said, sir, that is Mr. Bachchan is sitting there. Just put the camera on him. There's a door in the back. If he asks, where is the door? You don't need to move the camera. He liked. He said, yeah. You think so? The drama will go. He's a great actor. He'll do so. Just take the shot. If you don't feel that, that is the shot is in the film. That is all we shot. And he told that to Mr. Bachchan also. I put all this jib and all. He didn't want to. He said, there's an Amitabh Bachchan. He'll do that, performance. So you don't need to move the camera when you have a great actor in front of you. You hold the camera, and that is what I even in Mani sir film, this film we have done. When Kamal sir is there, you don't need to do all the gimmicks or any lighting gimmicks or anything. He just holds. He performs through the eyes, like a Mohanlal. In Drishyam, you don't see too much of camera move or any film of. They don't do that much. If you have a Mohanlal, you put the camera on his face, they'll perform.
So what do you think of this trend? Now that cameras have become lighter, there was once a time when everyone went, wow, when, Touch of Evil has this big ass single take beginning, right? It's like, I don't know, 10 minutes, whatever, for that time. And they were using...
That time only 5 minutes.
5 minutes, whatever, like the huge shot, right? Till the bomb goes off, right? It's like that entire sequence is like a single take. So everyone was like, wow.
With a Touch of Evil. Yes.
Touch of Evil.
That must be the long take.
Yeah, long take, yeah. But now, because the cameras have become lighter, you see many filmmakers doing single takes, right? It's like in Tamil, we see so many of them. Again, there's no right or wrong to this, but what do you feel about the single take? So I'm going to tell you what I think about the single take. I like it as a technical achievement, right? But what I like are the Spielberg type of single takes where you almost don't notice that it's a single take.
It's exactly I'm saying. See, now they are doing coverage. It's like a marriage coverage.
Yeah.
There, you see a two shot, you see a close up, you see a wide angle, you see a over the shoulder. The actors position themselves because of the choreography of the director.
Yeah.
So when Spielberg did Schindler's List, the lead actor told Ben Kingsley, I can't act like this because he's telling me to bend down. You hold a hand like this. There's a light patch will come. You hold the cigarette here.
And the
cigarette smoke will come. Your light will be cut. You turn like this. Your profile I want to see. All these things it's too controlled and all. He said, you're working with Spielberg. He knows what he's doing. You just do it. Everything will look correct because he's composing for it. So his language is that. So when you see it from outside, it may look odd position to come and sit in that area or sit like this. But that, if you switch off the sound of Spielberg film and see how the actors are coming and positioning themselves to the camera, you'll realize it's strategically done. If you see Munich or anything, how they introduce the Prime Minister, that particular shot as a language, whether it is Jaws or anything, the single takes are very brilliantly done.
Yeah.
It's not just a coverage in a wide angle lens.
And it's not saying, wow, look at me, I'm a single take, right?
No,
it's like, and we inevitably have to talk about Mani Ratnam at some point because this is for Thug Life. So I'll tell you one single take of Mani Ratnam that at that point I didn't realize it was a single take, but then later I saw it and I was stunned by that choreography that Mani Ratnam and Ravi Varman. This is the scene where Karthi comes and terrorizes Aditi and her parents, where after her grandfather has died, it's a small, like an outhouse kind of thing where they're having their, I forget it, like that exactly, it's a little outside. Karthi carries that scene, these three are sitting down, Karthi carries that scene single-handedly, and the choreography of that shot in that small room, later I asked Ravi, where were you sitting? Like it's, the room is it seems to be so small. Where were you like sitting, and where was Maniratnam standing? Like, because it's like, where were you guys? It was so well done, and I think one of the reasons, again, when you use the word choreography, it's that thing that you find again and again in Maniratnam's visual language. Given the fact that he did not go to film school or all that, have you talked to him about, or have you seen how he developed this visual language?
See, I worked with him from his second film.
Yeah, which is Unaru, where your
Unaru,
brother
shot in
Ramchandra Babu.
Yeah, Pagal Nelavi also.
Yeah.
So from that time onwards, he is always uncertain when he comes to the set. He is trying to seek a different language, way of telling the same scene. It may be a regular scene, but he will try to tell it in a different scene.
Yeah.
So even now, when I work in Thug Life, when you read the script, you think this is how he is going to choreograph a scene, but he opens it in a different way. So it throws you off as a because your mind is already used to the classic or commercial way of shooting a particular scene. But he comes and put the camera in a different way.
Yeah.
He doesn't fall for any trap of the regular filmmaking. So he always seeks that. So that is why this, choreographed positioning. If you see, Iruvar has got a lot of interesting camera moves and interesting angles to tell the story. It's not just to show off. It is just to tell the story. It is very, very precisely done. That is a beauty of Manisa's. It's like almost like Betlucci's choreography. It starts from somewhere. Betlucci has got a lot of long single takes. And he uses a lot of camera moves, and he actually tells the operator what to do, not to the DP alone. Because their operator cameraman is different. So he literally composes everything and position the actors. It's a very important to how to position the actor naturally, yet they come closer and go out and the other character comes in. Those kind of things. So
when does in a Maniratnam film, and we'll talk about this as an extension of your other work. For example, I think one of the works of yours that is not spoken about as much as it should be spoken about, in my opinion, is Anjana Anjani. I loved your work in that movie, especially the close-ups, because it's a kind of a strange love story.
Yeah.
And the way you handled the faces of Ranbir Kapoor and Priyanka Chopra, I thought was outstanding. I had not seen something like that. It was a very new way of showing close-ups. You want to talk about that just for a little bit?
Yeah. See, Anjana Anjani, when we did, when I read the script, it is only two characters.
Yeah.
And they are traveling. So there's no other characters coming into the film. So when the other characters don't come in, you are stuck with this. How do you shoot them interestingly? So we had to find new ways of looking at it. Even the song when they're going in a car, Hey Ret one song.
Yeah.
That song you can't shoot it in a drone. You need a helicopter with a zoom. So then only you can shoot so tight. With a drone you can't shoot that shot. Those kind of things we did in that film. So it was, I remember I met Homi one day, he was saying, you shot Anjana Anjani, it's one of my favorite films, the way you shot it. New York looked so different and all. So I said, I didn't want to shoot it like a touristy film. Like when I look at Dil Chahta Hai, even I shot very few films abroad. My Name is Khan. We didn't go to the Golden Bridge or anything in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We didn't show that as a background. So even in Dil Chahta Hai, we don't show monuments. It's in his office. You can see out of focus.
Yeah.
So we didn't shoot a song in front of it, and we have gone to foreign location. We kept it as real as possible. So that's how I look at it, because it should not look like a tourist brochure.
Right, but when you shot Anjana Anjani, when I'm talking about whether it's the color or whether it's the close-ups or whatever, did you do something a little different from what you'd done earlier? Because that film really stands out.
See, in some films, with the story you go and whatever locations you get and you shoot. But I try to change every film different lenses.
Okay.
So what I shot now, Thug Life, that lens I never used it before. So I'm trying to explore new lenses.
Right.
It's like a new toy for me.
Yeah.
So I keep experimenting with the lights also. whatever lights, I brought in many lights into India. Like, for example, in Savariya, I wanted a very soft light.
Yeah.
But it should not, we are going to use smoke. It should not create a haze, the shaft and all in the atmosphere. So I brought in that light called space lights.
Right.
Which I saw it in Sleepy Hollow in American Cinematographer, and they used it. So I brought one from abroad, and we made it here, and we experimented it with it while doing FANA. For 6 months we were fine tuning it. Then we used it extensively in that. Now it has become a norm in India. It's like that. Different lenses, different lights. I used to get it to test it out.
Okay.
So that is how. So I don't remember what lights or what lens we used then, but it didn't do well. The film didn't do well.
Film didn't do well, yeah.
But a lot of people remember the songs or the, like OK Jano. A lot of directors like it. They said, Bombay never looked like that.
Yeah,
So,
that's one of the films I'm really glad I saw it on the big screen, because it was spectacular. And it's not the story itself is not a big story.
Yeah,
it's a small story, right? But somehow you made it look big.
So
and
I wanted it to look like a Vicky Krishna Barcelona type.
Yeah.
Warmth, because Bombay is very grey and dirty. So what we did was, we went in the morning 4:30. We stayed in town only. Me and Shah stayed in town. Even the actors were staying near. And we used to go out at 4:30, 5 o'clock out and start shooting till 9:30, 10. Then we give a break completely till evening 3 o'clock. We have lunch, sleep. Then we'll come back at 4:30. We shoot till 7. But we finished the film in 35 days, 36 days or something like that. But we had great light to shoot.
Yeah.
And that light, Bombay looked warm and beautiful.
Right. Sanjay Leela Bhansali is one of my favorite filmmakers visually and also narratively, but we'll keep this to visual. And he, I think, had an idea inside his head about how he wanted to present his films. But until Black happened, I don't think he found the right cinematographer to take what is inside his head and execute it the way he wanted. Right? Because some people are very good at explaining stuff, and some people are like, I want this, but till they see it, they may not know, oh, right, that is what it is. And I think you helped Sanjay discover his cinematic language, and through Black, and especially through Savariya, because I've seen the Blu-ray of Savariya, and oh my God, that is something else. I mean,
Thank you.
Thank you, because it is an artificial film, because it's shot entirely inside a studio, and the colors, the choreography, everything is just so brilliant. When you met Sanjay Leela Bhansali, did you sense that this man is struggling a bit to execute what is inside his head?
See, actually, Sanjay sir came with Devdas to me. That time, I never liked Devdas' story as a story. So I was not very keen on doing that film. So I said, sir, I'm doing a newcomer's film, which is Dil Chahta Hai.
Right.
I read a script, I find it interesting, so I'm going to do that. He was surprised. He said, this is a big budget film, so it's a new company. So I chose this. Then he said, but I'll come back to you. At least you said you're not doing it. I said, sir, I'll spend 1 year of my life in a film. So that 1 year I should be worthwhile trying to do this film. If I'm not interested in the story itself, then it's a problem of shooting it. Every day getting up in the morning will be a problem going to the set. So I said, then he came with the Bajirao Mastani with Salman Khan. He had songs also ready at that time.
That was the Salman Kareena.
That followed up and that didn't happen.
And that wrapped, yeah.
Then he said, I'm going to do a small film with Naseeruddin Shah. It's about a blind, very realistic. We'll go to, Nainital or somewhere and take a house and shoot this. Then I said, I was sending him Pyasa, Maniratnam's Idaithe Tirudade, the Shaft of Light and all that. So I said, I see this film like this, in a big shaft light and So I gave him ideas like, sir, either you shoot everything in dark and black and browns, no reds, nothing. One school. Other one is all white. She is only in black, and beautiful atom leaves are falling. Colors are there everywhere, and she can't see. Bright light, sunlight coming inside the house, but she can't enjoy the light. There's a two idea. He said both are nice, but I'm very scared to go to the white angle. But I'll use it in the film. He used it in the hospital sequence.
Then Amitabh in the hospital.
Amitabh in the hospital sequence, where she comes in black and the rest of the things are white. Likewise, we gone with this, and Sabay Saji was a costume designer for this. So he was brilliant. And Sanjay has a very meticulous way of working. He put the costumes of the junior artist also, place them where they will stay, and he'll see whether in the background what they will be. He will ask me what exposure will go in so that they will be in how much out of focus. All these things he is very particular about. So that time, I have seen his earlier films and all, he used to have a lot of jib camera moves, sweeping movements and all these things. I was telling him, sir, we'll avoid those things. We'll keep it static, because so that I can also save myself by putting the shaft light, and otherwise it will opposite angle will look. So I was trying to sell my vision about that, and he bought it. So we used very less sweeping camera moves even in Savariya and in black, and we avoided all the strong colors in the film.
Right.
So that production design took care of that. In Savariya, what happened is we tried we even gone through Ravi Verma painting, and we even faded the clothes and tested it and all. Yeah. Even the makeup had, sides also darker so that it will look like painting, moving painting we wanted to shoot, the whole sequence. So we thought whole film in that look. We tested many, almost 20 makeup tests we have done. So everything didn't go. Then finally he came with the idea of peacock feather colors, blue, green, and black. These are the basic colors in the film. That's what we used. And story happens in the night, it blended well. So unfortunately the film didn't do well, so that people said it's too blue or too, they wrote it off. But Mani sir wrote a long message. I think in my life, first time I got a longest message. Unfortunately, those days when he changed the phone, it was gone. I should have taken a printout of that. But he sent a really long message. He really liked the film also. So he sent a long message to me. So that is one of the most precious message I received from Mani sir. But that film didn't do well. But when the Blu-ray came, they were blown away by that. A lot of people.
And at foreign film festivals, I have seen many people who love Savariya.
My biggest compliment I got from A.R. Rahman one day, he was telling, you know what, when I compose for other films, the night, only the music is composing for a song. You need some imagery in the frame. So he just put Savariya without sound. It's beautifully moving, dark, so it will not disturb the eyes, but like a screensaver, images are changing.
Yeah.
So he said, I use your image to compose song. I said, this is the biggest compliment.
That's a great compliment.
So I think this is the biggest compliment one cameraman can get.
Yeah.
Like A.R. Rahman is when he is composing a song, he used my film footage as a screensaver without sound. He said that. So that is a very biggest compliment I got.
Yeah. And before we move on, I just want to mention one, because this also shows how important costuming and the overall vision is in a cinematographer's work. Because with the because you're using so many night colors when it comes to Ranbir and Sonam, that is the leads. When the sex workers are shown in that song for Chel Chabila, for instance, in possibly every color of the rainbow, like, pink, green, yellow, whatever it is, they're all standing in that formation, and everyone is monochrome. It's not like they're wearing this thing. Everyone is dressed in one singular color, right? It's like the scene explodes like that image, right? It's like, wow. I was like,
Thank you.
It's just so.
Like I remember Hrithik Roshan saw the film in the premiere and he came and asked me, how you made the actor's face look so like pearl. The skin is glowing and like it's not diffusion filter or anything. Your lighting made it look like that. I said they're young boys, young girl. Obviously their skin is good, and we used a good lens as you can see. Like so, because those days we can't
digitally touch up.
digitally color skin and all you can't change. So
Yeah.
shot on film.
And I think one actor that you have shot the most beautifully is Rani Mukherjee, because I also have to include Paheli in this.
Paheli, yeah.
Black,
Savriya.
Savriya. Those three movies, they came around the same, same period, I think. I think maybe.
I did Yuva also.
You were also, right.
Yuva and Calcutta Mail, 5 films.
5.
So all 5, I used to tell Kajol, 5 films with her, with Kajol 3 films. My Name is Khan, Sapne and Fana.
Yeah.
So your family only I'm working, So all of them there.
How do you look at it when you're lighting an extraordinarily fair person versus a duskier person?
See, I didn't find difficult when I with Rani because Amiji also little not a fair actor.
Yeah.
Like Shah Rukh also not like that. So Abhishek also not like that. So it works well, easy. When you otherwise we light the lighter skin actor, and we won't light the
duskier or whatever.
duskier. Duskier won't be light actually. It's the opposite. We won't light the fair skin actor. So the fall off will take care of it.
Yeah.
Like if Karina is there, you don't need to light her. She looks like glowing. Like Santosh Shivan once told her about you ate 2 lights for breakfast out there. You're glowing from inside. Like she's like that. I just shot with her also. She looks the same.
Yeah.
So she's like Karina or Tabu and all. You don't need to light too much. They look so good.
Yeah.
Tabu's first film I shot, so I know. Like the Kandukonden, Fana, Virasat and all. She's too good.
Right. Again, when we come to, we spoke about natural light when it comes to Balu Mahendra and all that. What was it about Dil Chahta Hai that made it look so different for a film of the time? Because of course, one is the color palette, right? Because those light blues, everybody's wearing these very, very cool colors, right? The movie is a very, and one very interesting thing at that point, because on the one hand, Amir is coming out of Lagan, which is all warm tones, right? Earth colors, brown, the whole movie is like he has the tan and all that. And then you have Dil Chahta Hai, which is like completely the other end of the color spectrum. Everything is cool, the pinks are cooler, the blues are cooler. So tell me about the way you designed the look for that film, the cinematography.
Mainly because of production design by Susan, and she's an very very senior and very experienced production designer. Arjun Basin's costume. These two combined together gave us a very international kind of look. They didn't fall into the regular. That time, Karan Johar's films are the most happening look films and all.
Yeah.
But when Dil Chahta Hai came, it toppled everything. Like, this is not cool. This is the cool, and it completely changed the game. And that's the first time I'm working with a gaffer. So I'm used to some 10 assistant going and shouting at lighting crew and lighting it. There's a gaffer, Mulchan, who has worked in all international projects. Even now he is working. He's one of the finest gaffer.
Yeah.
I never knew there's a gaffer exist. And that person will, if I tell him I want certain light, he will fix the light. If I say this is the exposure I want, he will check with the meter and so what my assistant were trying to struggle and do that, they will fix everything because they are used to it.
Yeah.
They have the equipments, and so he taught me all these diffusion filters. I never knew the name of the filters and all. So he taught me all those things. That gave a new opening for me. Like it's like I never knew so many brushes are there to paint. You can paint, but you don't know that this many brushes are there like that. So for eyes, you can use this brush. Like that. every skin tone, what you want, a hard, soft light,
Yeah.
how do you make it, how much distance you have to keep from the. So all these things he only taught me. That opened up my vision. So that gave a new look for the film as well as my perspective as a cinematographer.
Right. So when you discuss this, the color, the look of the film with Farhan Akhtar, what was the thing? Because one of the things in that movie is that movie does not look lit, right? It's not. It doesn't look like you can't see the light anywhere. Maybe a few interior scenes when Amir is sitting alone with the like he's depressed and that Sting song is playing. You know, maybe a few scenes like that. But otherwise, that film does not look like it was lit at all. How did you?
Because that is the first time somebody rehearsed the scene for me. You know, there's no rehearsals. Even now, people don't rehearse. They come and tell the shot. But they have done prep almost 1 year before. If I'm shooting here, they told us where they're putting the light, how to, this is the what the block is. So I could take permission to put light in the next building. So in 1 year ahead of time, we have done that. So this process happened in those days. First time they gave us rehearsals, and every day, end of the day, what they do is the actors will stay back and rehearse the next day's scene.
Right.
Till then, even their work will finish in the morning. They will not go home. They sit there, or they go home and come back by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They'll enact the next day's scene.
Right.
So we know where they're going to sit, but it's not surprised. It's like a very international film. So you could have control over the lighting. Here, most of the time, we are surviving the lighting situation. You know, they come and tell the shots, if come here, they're going, ready, then you're shooting. In that you are trying to...
So it's all last minute.
It's all last minute. So that is the difference. That is why I say Anjana Engineer, Black or Savriya you're talking about, all looked the way it looks because of the timing. We know where you are putting the light, where the actor is going to stand.
Right.
You know, if we both are sitting and talking, if I go and sit there, he'll say there's no light there. You put the light, means you can put the light, but it will not the optimum composition. Or so that is how in South we work. In North, it become very rehearsal, everything is preparation.
Right.
Whereas in a film like, it's not the hard and fast rule. The most beautiful films are done with Mani Ratnam sir. He doesn't rehearse and all like that. But still he gets the image because he knows what light looks good.
Yeah.
He knows, you know, this morning light, it will look good. So he may not give you time as much as a Sanjay Leela Bhansali, but he'll get the result in an outdoor. Sanjay is in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
So it's a different look, point of view of filmmaking. Like Spielberg never gives time to cameraman. He could shoot very quickly. That's why he took Janusz Kaminski, because he shot very quickly. So if you look, you know, cut the sound of Schindler's List, and you can see the lighting. He has put a light here, he has put light here. There's no logic for the light to come like that, but it works dramatically. It won an Oscar. So, you know, it's not that lighting is wrong. It is dramatic for the scene. You know, so that is how it works. So that's why Dil Chahta Hai looked like that. You know, because I knew 1 week before where he's going to sit. You know, when I went to Australia to see location, we have seen the location, in the same location only we shot 1 year later. So 1 year before I said, in this building I want to put a light, they took permission and kept it. When we went, the light was already kept there. So I let it just shoot. So it's not that day you go and shout at 10 people and put the light.
Right.
You know, so there are only 2-3 lightmen were there. They could able to pull it off. It's all this in the railway station, because the timing has to be right. He gets in, the door closes, Preeti is that side, and he misses her, and reflection, all these things. We planned it 1 year before only.
Right.
That freedom we had.
Right. So these are two different approaches, right? One is the great extensive planning, whatever it is that happens, and the other is the spontaneity that happens with a Mani Ratnam or a Spielberg or whoever it is, right? Because there's a fantastic story that I heard about Spielberg, and Matt Damon said this he said that there was a scene where he told Spielberg that we've done some, maybe they did 3 takes or something like that. We've done 3 takes, but I think I can still do better. Can we go for another take? So I believe Spielberg told him that, listen, we can keep doing this endlessly till you think you have the perfect take. I would rather go there and shoot the next scene and try to do the best version of that scene possible, rather than try to get the 100% perfect variation of this scene. So that reminded me so much of Maniratnam. It's just like he's not going for perfection in that 100% perfection scene. He wants that spontaneity, which may include a bit of mistakes or whatever it is, but he's okay with that bit of mistake being there. What do you think of that approach?
See, that's why I'll approach cinematography also. I'm very impatient, so I'll light it very quickly. So when I did Black, first day, I shot so quickly, Sanjay sir thought I'm tokoing the film. And because 1 week plan, gone in 1 day. So he didn't have anything to shoot for a week. So he thought this guy is tokoing. So he went and quickly printed the negative, processed the negative, and saw a telecine footage. Next day he came and hugged me and said, I'm used to people take so much of time, you shoot so quickly. I said, sir, I come from Yuva, where Mani sir is shooting some 60 shots, 5 location shots. And I came from Malayalam industry. There's no light.
Yeah.
So we have very less light. So I grown up in that thing. If you give so much of light and time, I don't know what to do. Normally, when I used to do Savri, I used to go to Farah Khan set. They were shooting Om Shanti Om next door. I go and hang around with Manikandan and sit there. And they'll call me, rehearsal and all done, you can come and see. Because maybe in a jeep they'll be rehearsing. So I'll be sitting in the other set instead of sitting here, because they'll take so much of time to correct the makeup and all. When the shot is almost ready, they'll call me. Then after that also 1 or 2 hours they'll take. But that's how Sanjay shoots. It's nothing wrong in it.
Yeah.
He's a producer, he's a director, he's a writer.
Yeah.
So he's film.
And as long as the output is...
So it's like, chariots of fire only. One person can be trained so well, other person can be partying, but both will do a photo finish. It's like that. How fast, how quick and all doesn't matter. You are telling the story. And all these happy accidents will make a film more organic.
Yeah.
Then, little plastic it can become. So if you look at Ponniyin Selvan, it doesn't have that regular period film composition, or it has got a lot of handheld. And
it's very energetic.
That is what made it very different from the regular Sanjay Leela Bhansali's or Rajmouli's film period to this. Mani Ratnam period was very different, because it's nothing wrong with their outlook, but this is, he tried to make it different. That is what Mani Ratnam is.
Yeah. So when you first met Mani Ratnam, it was Unaru?
Unaru, 1984.
Right. So describe to me the first meeting that you had with him.
See, actually, when Mani sir came to, like the producer of the film, Unaru told there's a young boy who has done a film in Kannada with Balumendra. Now he is going to do a Malayalam film. And do you want to do it? And my brother said, what film he has done, I want to know. So he will arrange a screening. So they screened Pallavi and Pallavi. So me and my brother only went to watch the film. So after watching the film, when we came out, there's a young man standing, 28 years old, Mani Ratnam, was standing there, the glasses and all. So, and we met, and we really liked this film. So I said, it's superb, to my brother, we should do his film. So, and that's why we did the film.
So you were assisting your brother?
My
right?
brother.
Yeah.
But that was my second film. But I was staying with him in the college days. So we talk about films and all. So I said, this Balumendra shot is brilliantly. Even when he got National Award for Montrambarai, Balu sir gave an interview saying, I should have got it for Pallavi and Pallavi, not for Montrambarai. That was better short film, he said. That's a meeting first we had. And when we are shooting in Kerala, only Tamil guy who can talk to him is me. and my brother doesn't talk much, so I used to talk a lot and about films and this and all too. And he was a young guy, so we used to buy chocolates and eat and have beer, and that was the friendship is started. But he's of course a director. I was an assistant, and he used to have a SD bike and go around and that. And so that's how.
That was the initial.
That was the initial. Then we did Pagal Level.
Yeah.
I was lucky to be part of films like My Name is Khan, which is not Karan's regular film. Kanathil Muthamittal is not regular Manirathanam film. Black without songs. I have a preview show in, I told Hasini, I don't think I'll get any name in this film because it doesn't look like Manirathanam film. It's very simple and plain.
Title sponsors Indica Cream, Ramraj, Mritu Towels presents Galatta Thug Life Celebrations. Powered by Prithvi Innovias, The Chennai Silks, Darling, Sura Books, Jai Chandran VP. Associate Partner, Inno6.